Shop the mega year-end sale from November 15 to December 15, 2024 and experience the joy of savings. Cebu Home and Miller Center, where your dream home comes to life. See you there. Rated Fair Trade Permit number Box 884 Series of 2024.
Don't forget, it's ongoing. Hangtod sa Pizza 15 sa Disyembre.
Yeah. Year-end mega sale of the Cebu Home Builders. You can check it out in any of their branches all over Cebu. Atong takna karon, it is now 7:52. Walo na lang ka minutos before we hit the hour of 8 on this brand new week. A Monday, Lunes, karong adlaw, of course. Clear blue skies. I think the haze from Canlaon is gone. So ang ako ang pananaw there, and I'm sure the same is true from you down there in Cebu City. It is clear blue skies and sunny.
Over 2,000 feet closer to heaven, it tops 105.1 TMC.
When I'm back tonight, when I'm back tonight, isa mo sa tanga vibe, isa asa sa basay, yeah, isa asa. Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa asa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina. Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa asa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina.
Shawty bahala sa gasolina, come DJ ang magkayo masalina. Yeah, I know that we is a celebrity, but I'ma treat you like it right. Sumasala sa kasana, mga homies keep kami majudokita. Nakapagod dahil banda sa mga pressure, dito sa'yo tupad sa mga pressure.
And I got that thing, I'm up a piece of my penis, say yeah, that's lit. I do piece of my piece of your mouth, so with me, I'm in the wrong society. In the shape is sweet, get it so nice and right. I got what you need, I got what you want. I said I'm good, bahala sa kung gusto yun. Asa naman daw ako ang light it up. Sige na lang magaw pang gaslight. Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina. Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina.
Yung anxiety ko kumanda ang gasolina, joyride na sa lugar mo malabana. Basta ako nalagay mo haganan. Shawty wanna ride yung gabi galaga. Di ka ba masisipo, gumawa mo na yung misay mo follow me, kabon ako, yeah, you wanna hear it again.
Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina. Shawty wanna ride tonight, by my side, isa tanga vibe, isa bala sa gasolina, isa gasolina.
Tops Media Center, broadcasting from over 2,000 feet closer to heaven. It tops 105.1.
Once again, you're listening to Top of the Morning. Our mission is to squeeze more life out of your day. I'm here to
Finally, local music
to inspire you to move on 105.1 TM.
Through our TMC student radio shows. We're gonna do say, if you are a high school or college student, just submit a video of you answering this very simple question. Why do I want to be a part of 105.1 TMC? Send this video clip on our official Facebook page at Ops Media Center. Pilihan mo ang mga entries. At the end of the month of November, we can't wait to see your entries. Good luck from 105.1 TMC. The best of us. Kung ikaw, 50 anyos na pataas, sama na ko, taas ang risiko nga mahalap na ang imong pananaw. Na kung hagi sa pang-adlaw-adlaw nga buluhaton, sama sa pagbasa, pagsulat, o pagmaliho. Ang opting, dunay lupin nga makahatag og kapang sa kahimsog sa mata, aking bato kini sa epekto sa glaucoma, macular degeneration o katarata. Makita yun ang kahimsog. Mapalit ang opting sa mga nagunang butika nationwide. Importanteng pahinumdum ang optin dili tambal o dili dapat gamitong tambal sa bisan unsa nga sakit samtang nagkaedad at imana ang pananaw pinaagi sa natural nga nutrisyon. Inom og optin matag adlaw mapalit sa mga nagpunang butika nationwide.
Maayong bungkag to Joe Crystal
Uwano, daghang salamat sa inyo ang pagpaminaw. It is always a pleasure to know that you're out there listening. Daghang salamat to you, Joe Crystal Uwano, listening right now on her way home. This is coming from Jude Uwano. Daghang salamat sa inyo ang pagpaminaw. It is now 8:11.
わかめ、枝豆、唐揚げ、串カツ。天ぷら、本田焼き、餃子、網焼き、ガーリック、ポテチュー。奥そば、マグロ丼、焼きそば、奥の目焼き、すき焼き、牛丼、ポテチュー。たこ焼き、ハヤシ、そばなし、豚丼、寿司、オラ煮干し、冷やし飴、ポテチュー。All the best dishes from Japan, all originally from Japan. Poteju.
Ano pagbantay kay Manhattan Mio? 105 pesos in GCash. Just log on to Pop Media Center on Facebook. Wait for a surprise post for the instructions. Follow and win 105 pesos. Simply log on.
Sir.
Facebook page of 105
Hiwi ang ano? Hiwi ang ano? Hiwi ang...
Follow and win.
Hiwi siya. Hiwi. Ah,
Ako, usa ka beso. Ikaw ang bulong, ako ritmo. Ikaw, ako ang balat ng liriko sa atong isip usa. Buwag ang kumain. Hayaan ang siyang suminay, magaling niya mong ilaylay. Kikas-kas sa bibig sa tugang kasing-kasing kung kagat. Kailan hindi ko bahala na kung sinunado. Naman Uhit sa tingin mo, kay kasing-kasing ko naman. Magkasabot magsasabanan, sa balitaw, masumbingay sa tuhan. Ikaw, ako, usa ka beso. Ikaw, ang tigno, ako tono. Ikaw, ako, uyamon ng maliko, pinatulungan, mamuhat ang guman. Iitugan sa ritmong halay, iitugan sa kita. Kikinig sa ritmong basi, ang talala ko ng ikaw. Kaya hindi ko bahala na kung sinunado. Di ko lang matunggan ko. Uhit sa tingin mo, kay kasing-kasing ko naman. Magkasabot magsasabanan, sa balitaw, masumbingay sa tuhan. Sa balitaw, masumbingay sa tuhan. Sa balitaw,
Hi, this is Will McL. Thanks for supporting local music. You are listening to 105.1 TMC, The Best of Us.
Broadcasting from over 2,000 feet closer to heaven and tops. 105.1 TMC.
One hundred five point
On
one
TMC, the most Cebu music. I've got the latest weather report as of this morning. The center of the eye of Super Typhoon Pipito, or Man-yi, was estimated based on available data in the vicinity of West Sinait, Ilocos Sur, with coordinates of 17.8 degrees north and 119.1 degrees east, with maximum sustained winds of up to 130 kilometers near the center and gustiness of up to 160 kilometers per hour. It is moving northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour. We'd like to thank and say happy anniversary to our friends from Revo. Celebrated their 11th anniversary yesterday with a little party. Happy birthday, happy 11th anniversary to all of our friends from Revo. Most especially to Jed and, of course, Justine and Jaden and the rest of the guys. Happy 11th anniversary to y'all. May you have decades more to exist as a volunteer group. Revo, congratulations to you guys. Okay, we have some summary of the news headlines as of today, November 18, Monday. Pipito over Quirino after landfall near Dipakulaw, Aurora, signal number 5 in those 3 areas. So Quirino, Dipakulaw, and Aurora is signal number 5. So kasuga na ba ng signal number 5? Infrastructure damage due to Typhoon Nika. Ophel Pipito has hit almost half a billion pesos according to NDRRMC. And there's 1 reported dead in Camarines Norte due to Super Typhoon Pipito. Coast Guard calls for donations for typhoon hit families. And Canlaon had 6 ash emissions on in a 24-hour period according to Philvox. So motong ang atuang syudad sa Sugbo kagahapon and the past few days medyo hazy tungkol to sa ash emissions from Canlaon. And Pag-ibig launches online platform for auctioning properties. And according to DTI, kuyawaning balita, prices of 102 Noche Buena items have increased. So na 102 kabok ng mga Noche Buena items ng presyo ni taas na. And Philippine exports first has avocado supply to Japan according to the Department of Agriculture. And mahigit sa 100 kadayuhan ang binitay. Wow. Sa Saudi Arabia as of 2024. So there are at least 100 foreigners that have been hung in Saudi Arabia. It is now 8:25. Those are just a summary of the headlines as of today, November 18, 2024, as we inch closer and closer to Christmas. It is now 8:26. Don't forget you can override our playlist by simply texting 0999-887-6070. You're listening to Top of the Morning.
Ay, boy.
Sinasya lang sila.
Sige, saba. Sige, wala mo, nalang kay sulti niya. Mo nang igali. Wala, undangan lang. Kumana mo.
So,
Paduli pa. Sige. Ready? Get set, go! Ay, balik sa boss ba? Mana sa go para sugudan mo. Sige. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com. Or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor radios or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. Okay. May microphone. Microphone sa auto na.
ito tao, kusog mo na sur. Tapang ka na sa Junior.
Inay. On YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com. Or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor radios or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. Yeah, okay lang siguro. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com.
1 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The Magic Hour from 105.1 TMC.
listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com, or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor, your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com, or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor radios or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. Listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. The morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. If you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com, or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor, radio, or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. You're listening to 105.1. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com, or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor radios or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host.
My name is Jiggy Juice. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com. Or you can just go to 105.1 TMC on your transistor radios or your car stereos. Do it right now. You're listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. You're listening to 105.1 TMC on your radio dial. So if you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can go to Tops Media Center. You can also go to topsmediacenter.com. Or you can just go to one.
105.1 TMC Buwad
Suka
Suka.
Sili Sikwati.
Aba, matindi!
Talaga. Bitaw, asam ta mangitag maayo nga kaning tabliya. Kay katong gihatag sa ko nga mahan, he claims to have bought it in Tabuana. Medyo more aslum-aslum man to. Is there like a nice, better place? Because I know there are kaning well-packaged tabliyas nga baligya sa mga Shell stations, kanang sa department stores, sa mga groceries ba. Kalimot ko sa to mga brand, pero ang sikwati ang tabliya sa Tabuan nga gipalit sa akong amahan, medyo aslum-asluman. I don't know, man. Maybe it was just the way it was cooked. Very fibrous, but kaning aslum, I don't know. Maybe you have any suggestions on where to get the best tabliya in Cebu? It's time for a segment we call Listener Override. And i-override niya itong playlist ni Mark Bardilio karong buntaga and wants me to play the song from this Australian-Filipino artist, Aiden Du, Manila Girl. On 105.1
TMC, The Best of Us. Ano, lami sa tabliyas argaw na inil? Ano man nil?
You're listening to 105.1 TMC. You're listening to 105. She sends him texts. She smiles at us. She walks for his touch. A back on cheek is they have a way to go. She's stuck at home. Oh, no, God, be like everything. Oh, she thinks she's mature, but all she wants is clarity. What's it matter to me that wanna be okay? Oh, Manila girl. She's waiting across the sea.
105.1 Aiden Do and Manila Girl requested over 0999 8876070. That's 0999 8876070.
in our listener override. It is now 8:43. This is 7 minutos na lang before with the hour of. I love the vibe of that song, Saboom! Yan, ako kipangutan na sila kanang, did you know that Saboom was like a thing back in the 80s and they were oblivious that was nakalibutan ko na itong Saboom. So they actually came up with that themselves, not by any influence whatsoever. Naghisgot man tag Champorado ganiha or rather Sekwate ganiha ba kay nagpatukar to kanta ni Junior Kilat. Unya naghisgot si Arnel nga lami kuno ang tableya sa Argao kay dili kuno kaayo pait nya lapot siya kung magluto og champorado. Kana manggong Sekwate kanang unsa tawag niya ni tableya kung daghano ni mo lapot gyud na di Manel? Kung gamay ra imong ibutang mo medyo mulasaw gyud, right? But according to my text, my text here, another text here from 0999-887-6070, ang atong TMC text number, naakon lami kuno ang sa Davao, kung naakon no yung hatod, nagpada niya from Davao, dadaan kuno ko ni Jenna from Cordova. So lami sad kuno ang tableya or para si Kwate sa Cordova ka mo. Naamoy mga recommendations yan, mga suggestions ang asa ang lami nga kaning ano tawag ni tableya? Let me know. Text me 099-887-6070. That's 0999-887-6070. You can also message us on our YouTube channel at Tops Media Center. That's Tops Media Center. You can join our ever-growing number of friends on the chats. We have Mark Bardadillo nga namina na to karon sa The Land Down Under in Australia. And si Pukot na ani siya sa New Zealand. So we have a cast of international listeners. Right now, maayong buntag sa kanatong tanan. You're listening to Top of the Morning. Kahayahay ninyo diha nga naminaw ra mo.
105.1 TMC. You're listening to Top of the Morning.
Mornings just got more real, organic, real, local, real. Si Insoy and the rest of Missing Philemon. That one is called English Sera. Kung ipahinog nun na sa akong mga kaigsunan nga mga amiga o mga amigo nga mga English Sera. Daghang salamat sa inyo ang pagpaminaw diha, sir. Ma'am, 0999-887-6070. Once again, happy 11th anniversary to Revo. Celebrated their 11th anniversary yesterday at what is that, Bayfront Hotel. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw. And daghang salamat sa inyong mga impormasyon nga inyong hatag namo para maka kay baosan mi unsay nahitabo sa kalibutan karon. Gi-summarize nila ang mga headlines sa tanan nga mga newspapers. Nanya tayo mga headlines karong taod-taod para sa ato ang
mga kaigsunan. Gikan sa Sunstar. Karong taod-taod, stay tuned, okay? This one is CDMC. Dance on 105.1 TMC. The best of us. Come on! Cooley Dread at the
microphone commander, CDMC, and Dan. Now 9:09. Good morning, Justine.
Hi, Jiggy. Top of the morning. Hey, everyone.
How are you doing? How was your weekend? I forgot to ask
It was
everyone.
great. It
How
was a
your
super busy weekend. The usual. I have.
Was it busy because of school? Because of extracurricular activities? What was it?
School also. I had an exam yesterday.
Wait a minute.
Sunday.
Domingo na examin?
Yeah, because that's when most of these other sections or other blocks are available. So
Okay.
they want to have it like all at once, ba?
Okay.
So we usually have our exams.
But online
every
is siya,
Sunday.
online.
No, face to face.
So where do you hold
Take the test?
hold classes?
At the downtown campus. So everyone, everyone still. Most of the blocks
So,
go there for the exams.
You're
also.
talking about San Carlos, right?
Yes.
Kaning unsa man na daghang tao Domingo sa San Carlos?
Not really. I mean, the kind of
That's really strange.
na ay
I don't
the
remem-
board reviewers
I don't
are there.
remember because I
bar reviewers
I
rather.
also graduated business in It's San Carlos, right? And then okay nung mga madomingo daghang tao kay murag wa may klase yung Domingo. Naa siguro yung mga aktibidades dito pero dili klase. So kamo ang law is that like common practice to have a class on a Sunday?
It's a common practice to have an exam on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, other years have. And then also
Yeah,
the other
wag-
rooms, we even had to wait for our turn to use one of the rooms.
Nga
kay-
naman nga naunsa man ang pagkaunsa nga bisag Domingo na may examine naunsa man what happened?
Because they want to make sure na when you take it with other blocks, magdungan ang tanan block. So that's a day man nga all the blocks have the same schedule. Okay, we also have classes on Saturdays, yung magkalahi-like schedule and all that. So para sure, Sunday na lang nila. But a lot of the bar reviewers are also there on Sundays. They have their review sessions
Wow.
every I think, I don't know, maybe every day or what.
Wow.
So yeah, that was pretty much it. And yesterday we celebrated Sarevo. We had our 11th
Kaya
year anniversary.
naandan mo guna nato mo pahuway og Domingo, di ba? Like our body
Ideally, yes.
our body clock is sort of used to that kind of idea, right?
Yeah.
Nga makapahuway ta kada Domingo, right? So that you will be able to be ready to do the things you need to do on
Right.
Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday, right?
Yeah.
It has a psychological and health component. It also has a religious component because Sunday in some cultures, including ours, is also kind of a day for the Lord, right? So it's just interesting. Nga naanay na yung Domingo. So I don't know.
Na anoon, yeah. So my classmates, manimba sila
D-
Saturday.
Does that throw your body clock off? Especially ikaw, Justine, I think naanad ka nga way buhaton ika Domingo, right? Or at least
Yeah.
relax na siya, di ba? Kung dili man gali na buhaton pero ka na mga errands and all of that stuff, right? Ikaw wala na culture shock ka, if you will. Your body murag naanad na lang ka unsa man.
Yeah, no, actually, I was culture shocked at first. Almost kada every Sunday na
Okay.
exam, kada weekend, there's an exam. So, but I got used to it. It's fine. Merg maanad naman siguro ka. It doesn't feel like the weekends. It feels like it just continues. So,
Yeah, so inig kay for example, di ba? Kanang Lunes, di ba? Supposedly you hit the ground running, di ba? You bust out of the gates running, but because you have the energy that you were able to replenish and recharge and refuel, masig mahal kang gasolina pero nag-refuel ka sa Sabado ug Domingo, di ba? So when you step on the gates, mura ka inspired kay ka, right? So ikaw, does that mean nga medyo ang imong energy is not as high energy because na-busy ka sa
Oh.
weekend? Is that
That's a good point.
is that what's happening right now?
yeah, I actually think that happens. No,
Okay.
kanang murag. Pero it's the same thing. Like, I feel like energy is just a state of mind. So it's up to you to get.
No, actually, no. I beg to
You-
disagree. I
you
think
mean like your
energy
body?
is energy is a physical thing. It's like that's why we drink caffeine, right?
Yes,
That's why
yes.
we eat, right? Because
Yes,
we need
yes,
energy.
yes.
That's how we jump up and down. So energy is not a state of mind. Energy is real. It is a physical state. Nga you have energy or not. For example, suway ra go ayo kaon gud niya paghuman kaning perform at a high level maglisod kayo, di ba?
Maluya taon ka.
Oh, suway ra go ayo og kaning for example, ako ayo inom og kape, di ba? Maluya sa ka, right? So do you feel like you're lacking in energy or do you have like a secret thing that you do like maybe like a kind of a ceremony or a kind of practice?
Ritual?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
No, actually, I don't have a ritual in place. I just try to feel like, okay, the week has begun. It's Monday again. So, Merg, you have to.
When you perform in the same way that you perform on stage, when you perform work, do you like start fast? Do you bust out of the gates running like I love to say? Ining abli mo sa gate magdaggan na ka
Daggan na dayon.
or kaning mo warm up pa ka nga mag stretching pa ka, mag run in place pa ka before ka mudagan. How do you perform?
Oh, okay. When doing any type of work, even when studying or
Even
especially-
when actually
Yeah,
performing,
when
even
actu-
going here in the studios. Yeah.
Oh, I would really prefer nga to jump the gun, like to really kung open ang gates to get it started because
Okay.
I feel like I would feel more laayon or I would feel more lazy if I had to start things slow by slow.
Okay.
So like if I have to wake myself up for something, I'd rather do it there
So
and
when
there.
you when you perform, wala na warm up dito naka tindog stage kanta dito. No, that was the question.
For that,
Yeah, yeah.
you mean in singing?
Any performance,
Okay.
any performance is
Yeah, actually.
because anything is a performance,
Yeah.
right? Work,
well,
play, singing.
For singing, namagid na warm up.
Okay.
You really have to follow the warm ups. It's like a vocal warm up that
Okay.
you gotta do for like an hour and all
okay.
that. But
So na warm up ang imuhang performance for singing, but you don't think
Naa.
it applies to work because kanang
Yeah, I
warm
do
up,
bitaw, no?
kanang warm up, it's a kind of nagpractice ka para sa imong actual nga gibuhat, di ba? And to be able to do well, to be able to hit the notes, right?
Yeah.
Right? You have to warm up.
Yeah, yeah.
And to be able to find that high level of concentration, you also need to warm up your brain, right?
I
Right?
see. I think I know what you mean there. So yeah, I do. There is something that I do. Like I take some time. I really take time before doing something important. So for example, if I'll have an exam at 11,
Okay.
I'm not gonna wake up at like 10.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna try to wake up at like 7 so
Okay.
that I can get myself awake first before the actual exam. Kaya kabantay magud ko, Chiki. I don't know if you can relate to this. If bago pa kag mata, even if it's been like 1 or 2 hours since you woke up, you still feel tired. So I don't know if our viewers can relate to that too. So waking up early does help, I would say, and it also mentally prepares you like, okay, I got a couple hours to rest pa. Di ka magkara-kara, you know?
Magkara-kara.
Yes.
Unsa man ang kara-kara kana mo magpanik-panik mo pasabot na magpanik-panik sa.
Magpanik because you got limited time na lang. Yeah. Na kay ka-prepare and this and that.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
kinahanglan lang gyud murag time to
to think for
to acclimatize yourself also importante na kanang some people do not take this too seriously, but to be able to acclimatize yourself, pasabot na niya na is ang imuhang lawas maanad sa temperatura sa room, right? People don't think it's a big deal, right? But it actually affects the way they concentrate, the way they think, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even just the vibe of the place, right? For example, especially if you're going to a new place, right? And you have like new people, whatever it is, maybe a performance, right? Maybe an exam, right? Maybe a board exams, for example. Kung musud lang ka diha niya, you don't know what the hell is going on, and all you're focusing,
Kalit-kalit ra.
you're focusing on the thing that you're preparing, which is the exams, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Pero wala ka kibaw nga basig alimuot kayo, di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
Diba? Kung dili alimot, purting hangina o purting tugnawa,
Kana.
di ba? Wasa ka kabaw, bas sus may pag nagdakog jacket. Di ba? Kay
Or
usahay,
nagdakog electric fan.
kay usahay maski unsa ka grabe ka pagtuon nimo, pero kung tugnaw kay kaga kurog-kurog ka,
That's true.
Imo-
Or kung init sad kayo,
gag-
grabe sad
gipaningot ka.
gipaningot
So,
ka,
importante
you won't be
kayo,
able
diba?
to focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's important to, what's the thing you say last time? Like kanang i-engineer ni mo imong environment.
yeah, but you cannot engineer the environment
Always.
to suit your desired environment. Kaya dili man na imong building, dili man na imong eskwelahan,
Exactly,
di ba? Dili man na imong aircon. Di ka kabut-buot, di ba? So kung moadto ka og lugar nga daghan kaayo og moving parts which is most places, right? Because you only control how you feel about things. You can't control the world, right? So ining adto nimo dito sa usa ka lugar, dili ka kibaw kung unsay mahitabo, di ba?
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, what are your thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah.
Let us know. 0999-8876-070. How do you start off your days?
How do you start off your manic Monday?
Yeah.
Especially nga karon, guys. What are your plans for today?
Yeah. What are your plans for today, and how do you prepare for it? Do you have like a warm up time? Because like I usually host mga marathons o mga runs, right? And importante juga tanan ang warm up. That is a physical necessity. Kaya kung
Exactly.
mudagan lang kag so dako kay potential for injury, right?
Yes,
And I think that goes for most things in life, nga performances. Kinahanglan gyud nga naa kay gamay nga warm up. Kay kung di ka mo warm up, patay ka. Hello, good morning,
Exactly.
Jiggy Juice and Justin. Pa-override ko og
Hi.
song. They want to play Grind by Brown Buds, a band from Tagbilaran City.
Okay.
Wow, we'll see about that. Ato ang factory override. Ato ang listener override
Listener over-
is at every 30th
Override.
of the hour. Ngan hilang sa pinakasugbuanon nga radio station sa Dibok, Dakbayan.
Woo!
105.1 TM.
Good morning, Julian. If you want to check out the artist names, in case it doesn't pop up here, it's supposed to be here sa atong chat. So, if you see sa top, under the logo, top of the morning, the name of the artist is there. If not, you can also check out sa Top Media Center on YouTube, the list of all the artists will pop up.
Listen to what I said. Give it a listen.
105.1 TMC, Mayong Bungka kang Ashlyn Kaputli,
Smack Lloyd and Jeff Watson. Dakang salamat sa inyo ang pagpaminaw. You're listening to Top of the Morning. My name is Jiggy Juice.
And my name is Justine Arvios. Hey guys. Have a great
Mayong
Manic
bungkag
Monday.
kang Joel Lim. Ang title atong kanta, Di Kumudi.
Di kumudi.
So
Bye.
I will not say no. Mampur and me.
Pampor and
I will not say no.
Di kumudi.
Di Kumudi.
That's gonna be me. Like if somebody asks me, kanang ganahan ba ka mukha na ni? I'll be like, oh,
Di Kumudi.
di kumudi.
Atong
I'll never
karon,
say no.
It is now 9:26. 4 minutos na lang before we will play our listener override.
Kanya.
Kabantay ka sa ato ang view karon, Justin. Clear blue skies. Now you can see all of the buildings of Cebu now.
And the clouds are huge today.
Unlike a few days ago nga medyo na haze from Canlaon.
Right.
Grabe kita sa nanay. Grabe jud kayo like nakabantay ko alas 12 sa udto nga purti na ng
Yeah,
inita, di ba?
lunchtime, ha?
Wala na fog na siya. Pag human grabe gyud mo kay hazy karon ni clear na. And I'm curious nga unsay kay health repercussions na ba, because of course you're breathing the air that has haze, right? Ingon silang okay ra ko no. Right? But I don't know.
Maybe there are long-term effects pa sad
Yeah,
after.
we'll
By
find
the way, I
out.
just realized I love your jacket.
Well, thank you.
Like for those who are watching us on YouTube, that Stops Me You Center on YouTube, you can check out. Me and Jiggy are actually matching today, nag white mi duha. Pero you have those patches. Like, did you put that on yourself?
Yeah,
Like,
I put this myself, of course.
wow. Does the back of your jacket have wala pa?
Yeah. No, it has an eye patch.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. There's no patch.
So only sa front, you have Yoda on the left.
You're the man.
And then who's the one on the right?
R2D2.
Oh, okay.
R2D2.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Jay. You're gonna hate me, but I've never watched Star Wars before.
Shame on you.
I know. I've
Shame on
never watched it before. Do you suggest where should I start? It's a very first good.
embarrassment to the human race.
Hala!
I'm just kidding.
Where should I start? Like, how do I get
I
into
don't know,
that?
man.
Sa pinaka first good.
No, the first one was like a build up. A New Hope. Maybe you go Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Will I understand it if I watch it sa 2 or 3 dayon?
just because it was a series of books, right? So maybe you can read the book first. I don't know.
Okay,
but I
okay.
think you go Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Second or third.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
But the first one, man, good.
Why, what's up with the first one?
It was kind of slow. It was really like a build up to Return of the Jedi and the Empire Strikes Back, right? And I think one of the most beautiful things about the series Star Wars, it's really about everything in society, everything in life. It has politics. It has religion. It has life, about life. You know, all of these things are just represented by all of these different races, right? Different life forms, different different cultures, different kaning empires, right? So you can actually mura og mahog og compare it to
it's a reflection of
society. You know, Philippine world society, geopolitics, internal conflict. You know, and why there is evil and all of that. It's really that deep. That's why I love it, and I still cannot figure it out completely. You know, my son now is a bigger and more learned Star Wars fan than I am.
Than you.
Yeah,
He beat you.
yeah, and I think in the same way I got into Star Wars because of my parents. I think I also got my
Your
kids,
kids into Star
especially my
Wars.
son, into Star Wars
Yeah.
because of I also. So it's like a I don't know, like a tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's nice. That becomes a bonding thing for you and
Yeah.
your kids
Yeah.
then, no?
So but it's just sad nga. It is a
And they keep continuing it, diba?
Yeah,
Like right
it's-
now, naay katong acolyte, something like that, right?
yeah.
Like there are
wala na, I've lost,
nakakabot
I've
na
lost track na.
Oh no.
And you know what? It's just sad nga. Ang ato ang gi-promote sa akong parents, ako mismo, movies from
Western.
from Hollywood, right?
Hollywood,
Which is really really sad, right?
Oh.
So anyway, I'm now trying to make an effort to try to understand and to appreciate local, right? So kada buntag ighaton ako sa akong anak padong sa eskwelahan, magpatukar ko og TMC o magtukar ko og Binisaya, right? So in the beginning mag earphones gina siya, di siya ganahan maminaw, so man nagpatukar ni mo dad.
Yeah.
You know, she's used to like
Doing his own thing, and listening to Western music.
You used to listening to the music that I used to play when I used to work in that other radio station.
Yeah.
Nga murag English kay ba? So pero
English.
naginahinay na siya og kaning kuha siyang headphones sa sahay, maka-stand na siya ba? Anam gina conditioning
Conditioning. Okay, that's good.
So the other day also, when there was nobody home, nisuway kog tanaw og Tagalog nga salida.
Okay, what do you watch?
Nakalimot ko kinsay starring ato basta kay I just forgot the title of the movie, man. But
On Netflix?
yeah, it was it was in Prime.
Okay, what's the plot na lang?
It was like I think they were in Singapore.
Okay.
It was set in Singapore, and then it was about a guy who fell in love with a girl as usual. That's
the
where,
usual Filipino story. Okay,
and
perfect.
how the girl is more getting skeptical. She didn't want to be in a relationship, and the guy was saying, but we can't possibly know what's going to happen, and we
Is
don't
the
know.
guy a Filipino?
Both of them are Filipinos.
Both of them are
Biskan na Tagalog yun nga salida.
Okay.
So but I wasn't able to finish it because would you believe? So this is how stupid I am, and
Why,
this is
why?
how because nangabot pa ng tao sa balay, and I was embarrassed.
No, why would you be embarrassed?
I don't know why I was
Jiggy.
embarrassed.
Guys, see, that's a Western
Yeah, I know,
colonialism
I know.
mentality.
I know.
If it
So-
was a
so-
Western film,
Yeah.
hala.
And more like that's what I mean.
Oh, no.
Right? It takes time for us to get into it. Yeah, imagine almost 400 years of Spanish
Yeah.
rule, right? We're colonized, and then almost 150 years of being colonized by Hollywood, by
Yeah.
the United States, right?
Exactly.
So dili gyud ta sayon-sayon nga musab sa atong kultura.
Yeah, that's true.
It has to be a conscious effort, and that's what I'm trying to do with me. Like I said, one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing now, that's why I love the idea of TMC.
Yeah.
Because it is me trying to understand who I am. Nga unsa man ko nga
Our identity as
diri man ko na
Filipinos.
tao sa syudad sa Sugbo.
Yeah.
Taga syudad sa Sugbo, nganong man nga dili man kaayo ko ganahan sa mga butang
Yeah.
mga art nga nagikan diri nganong mopabor man ko sa
Western.
foreign, right?
Exactly.
So I understand why I am like that. And you all should understand nganong inani man ka. Nganong inani man ta kay tungod we were colonized by the Spaniards
For so long.
for almost 400
That's
years.
not something you can snap out of easily.
Yeah.
Like, kanang makaingon
Exactly.
gid ka nga,
So it
So,
takes
yeah, that's
time for
true.
us to. So importante kayo nga makasabuta ngano. Ngano ba? I think the why is very important, right?
Just as the how is
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Mas important sa ang
But
why.
it has to begin with the why, right? Because you could do what you want to do, but you don't know why, right?
Yeah.
Which is sometimes pointless, right? Mura lang you going through the motions, ba? Mura lang sunod na ka sa
Just doing
panon,
your
di ba?
thing.
So makasabot ka nganong inani ta. Nganong inani man ta kay gi rule man ta sa Spaniards for such a long time. So they brought with them they how do you call this? They forced upon us in a way their culture, right? And the Americans also, whether you like it or not, our educational system
Yeah.
is inherited from the Americans, right?
Yeah.
Our books are mostly Western books, right?
Everything.
Our
Education.
school, yeah. Our constitution.
Yeah, even our governmental
this
system.
is very important. Our constitution is patterned from
Out
the United
theirs,
States,
yeah.
right? So ang mansag dili no ang mahitabo sa atong nasod pareha gyud sa ilang nasod. Mo na nga
More or less, yeah.
mo na nga that's why I'm really fascinated about US politics because it predicts Philippine politics. In fact,
a way.
I was just watching a video clip with Maria Reza, and she was saying that the United States, ang termino yung gigamit is
Yeah.
the Philippinization of the United States.
The Philippinization.
Yeah. So we
Bali.
we really reflect each other's politics and culture. Grabe jud kay ta in a way it is predictive. Kung mo observe ka sa
That's
US
right.
politics and Philippine politics, we predict each other's kaning events and all of that stuff. So that's very interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's important. Good. I think it's crucial to know the why of everything,
Yeah,
right?
why?
Ngano man, nganong inani man ko, ngano why do I behave that way?
In a certain way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Maayong bungkag ni Budia. Bert, hello, love.
Hi, Bert.
Hello, love, goodbye.
Is that what you're watching?
Is that what
no,
you think?
I don't think so. Kaya bang Hello, Love, Goodbye sa Canada ba na siya? Or sa, I forgot, asa na siya? Hindi man siguro Singapore na siya, guys. That's Hong Kong ang for Hello, Love, Goodbye, the first one, yeah.
I don't know what I was watching. But now
It's so funny, Jiggy. Why did you turn it off?
Kuano to siya kaning murag reflexive instinct to gipawag nako.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kay,
I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I knew why. I knew why because I was embarrassed but that's still remnants of the old me.
Yeah.
But
The you that wasn't
Yeah.
so open yet
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of the
Yeah.
Filipino films.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
it's
okay.
stupid, right? But yeah. I mean,
Well, no, it's not stupid. It's like, as you said, we're still used to that. So it takes conditioning. So
Yeah.
dapat maanad ka. Watch some series.
but
every once in
I
a
hope you
while
don't. I hope you don't have to wait for 400 years and another half a century to be able
to
to
appreciate it.
get rid of all of that colonial mentality.
105.1 TMC ni Sulti Palangga. Kat kita na unta.
I like that vibe. You know, I feel like Jackie Chan and Kurt Vick are so good at
all
all
the heart-wrenching songs. No, basta mga
Pero nga,
maoy-maoy.
pero nga di man musulti.
Kana.
Kana.
Why do you always have to wait also?
Yeah.
Kana. That's the thing. That's always the miscommunication part, no? Like maghulat-hulat. It's giving... Well, no. It's giving like both of them were waiting for the right timing. Yeah, wala. It seems like kanang typical plot nito sa films.
The story really is mahadlok ta og rejection, di ba?
Oh, okay.
Mo
that's
nang di ta
the-
mosulti.
Kana, that's
Right,
true.
right?
Or anything in life. Sometimes when you are afraid to try new things, you're afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah,
kay
yeah. Mahadlok yun ta, di ba?
Magmahay man ka in the end.
Yeah.
So, are you the type, Jiggy, that like, I gotta do it or else I'll regret? Or would you rather take the risk and not do something? Like, if there's something...
Kana siya that's a
Are you a risk taker?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
You
know,
are.
I'm
Okay.
I'm a risk taker. But mo lagi ang atong appetite for risk depende sa nasa sitwasyon, depende sa nasa butang, di ba? Kay kung kanang butanga wa jud kay kalibutan anang butanga.
Yeah.
Unya kibaw ka nga more likely than not you will fail, right? Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Then you know, sometimes I'd rather not try, right? You know what I mean? But kung confident ka sa aning butanga nga nakay kind of expertise or na familiar na kaani nahitabo na nimo atong una, then I'll probably more likely try it. So it's really about mura og your comfort level ba, your appetite for risks. So kanang you're being a risk taker or not, it really depends on the situation. That's a very nuanced question, but generally speaking, I want to try everything for the first time.
Kana.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I want to be able to experience as much as I can in this thing called life, right? So I want to experience everything. Yeah. So I think
squeeze the most that you can.
So you know, I want to try everything for the first time. But na mga butang nga kibaw nako, I can already imagine myself doing it. You know, because I have a very healthy imagination. Right?
Okay.
So kung maka-imagine akong mga mabuhat na nako unya kibaw nako unsa akong bati o dili lang ko musuway sometimes. You know, because like I said, I have a very fertile imagination, right? So naibutang nga ma-imagine ako nga mabuhat man ko na, pero why?
But why?
Why, right? Why,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Why?
exactly.
Well,
That's true.
I don't need to do that. You
Yeah.
know? I can do that, but
Yeah.
why? Why do I need to do it? So, you know, it's just all self-talk. How about you? Would you consider yourself like a risk taker? Would you consider yourself somebody who will try anything for the first time, or na mura og kind of
Hesitation.
line that you draw?
Ako, I would like to think I'm a risk taker, but I actually am not. I'm not a risk taker. I'm impulsive, meaning if I feel like there's no other chance that I can take something, then I need to take it now. What's up, Kuya Magic? So then probably I would not take the risk. But
Okay.
if I could, I'm not a risk taker.
Okay.
I'm afraid sometimes. Like I feel like I hesitate more and I would rather play it safe.
Okay.
Like where kabaw ko nga mas makakalculate ko sa akong success
Okay.
at a certain thing, then I won't. You know.
Yeah, because we really are processing machines, right?
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong man if you're a risk taker or not.
Of course not.
Pero I would prefer the safe side where makasi ko, okay, there's a less likely chance nga mo succeed ni, so I don't think I'll take that risk lang sa. I'd go for the safer route.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what is your when you say safe? What does that mean? Like, unsa man imong standards for
Safe.
the safetyness of that endeavor? Nakay ganahan nga buhaton nga medyo risgo pero suwayan tanik kay ngano man unsa man imong murag
okay.
standards mo. How do you
I look at the reward. If I feel like I weigh out the risk and the reward. So if I feel like the reward is greater than what I'm risking, or na bigger chance nga mas maka-receive kog something that is good for me, especially with what I put out, then I'll take the risk.
Okay.
Pero if I feel like mas dako ang risk niya, mas dako ang chance siguro nga I would not really gain much from it, then I won't take the risk. But the thing is, you always gain anything from everything, mangyud,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
So then it's also a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Kaya bas makain ka nga, wala mo ko mag-gain na, so I'm not gonna, it's also a very kind of self-centered and selfish kind of mindset. Ka nga, I'm not gonna gain anything from that, so I'm not gonna do it. Pero what exactly are you looking to gain? That's the question there.
Yeah,
diba?
I think part of that also is the desire for that thing, right? It's your love for that thing. It's the passion that you have for that thing.
Kana.
That surmounts nga mura og matakuban lang imuhang kahadlok. Mapildi imuhang pagduha-duha kay kanang butanga ganahan jud ka kaayo, di ba? You really want to do the thing.
Yeah. And the passion in itself is the reward also.
Yeah.
When you're passionate about something, that's the reward sometimes that
And you're
like,
willing to take the risk and you're willing to fail. Right? You're
Ako.
willing. Kana importante na you're willing to fail also. Because if you're not willing to fail, so maybe you can have like a scenario setting in your head, right? Worst case scenario, best case scenario. But here's the thing. Sometimes, or most of the time, it's really ignorance. It's really lack of knowledge that allows you sometimes to do and dare something. You know what I mean? So kung wakay kalibutan in the many ways to fail about this thing, you will frigging try it. So ayan ani mo kung wa man kay kalibutan. So it's also important to have a fresh perspective. It's also important to have somebody new in that position, for example, or somebody new in this job, right? Because what man siya kalibutan of the many ways that you could possibly fail. And it's possible now you will fall flat again in this as predicted by history of that thing, but it's also possible now there are things that are no longer true and in fact allows you to succeed and no longer fail because you don't have that in your head. You can't do this, you can't do that, and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Na may mga rule books, diba? There are rules that
to
are
follow.
made, But sometimes they saying the moment it is written is the beginning of its obsolescence, right?
The moment it is written.
Yeah,
Wow.
the moment it's in a book is the beginning of its obsolescence, right? That's the beginning of how it becomes no longer true. I remember this song from John Mayer. I don't know if
John Mayer?
It's called I think it's called Back to You. Nga ingon siya nga, I can't wait to go to my high school reunion and tell all my teachers nga, there's no thing as a real world, only lies that you rise above. So everything that you've ever taught me is not real. All of these are just lies that we're trying to rise above, right?
Wow, that's a nice lyric.
What are your thoughts on that? On how ignorance kanang wakay kalibutan kanang pag-ignorante nimo also helps in your daring to do great things.
Yeah, I feel like that the term ignorance is bliss. I don't know if that applies to this, but sometimes when you don't know so much about what's supposed to happen, or if you're not fully like focused on like, oh, okay, everything must go well, or everything, this is what's supposed to happen after this happens, or this is supposed to happen after this happens. When you're ignorant about those things, it somehow you don't have a bias, and so you feel like, okay, I can do anything. Like regardless of what happens, ay di ko magmahay nga na ba. Si Zyric Leona here on our chats. By the way, guys, join in our conversation. That's Tops Media Center on YouTube. Zyric Leona in the chat says, choose your battles wisely. Yeah, that's true. That's something that we have to learn over time. And I actually struggle with that. Most of the time, I'm very reactive. So I'll react to a lot of things. And it does become taxing. And it does take a toll on my energy. But then, as Jiggy would say, you have to choose which waves you ride, right? And sometimes there's a sense of kanang, or ka manggigil, or there's a sense of satisfaction that comes from riding every wave. Like, you have to do it. But then there's also beauty in staying on the shore and just seeing everything pass. But you don't have to react to everything. So, yeah, choosing your battles wisely, that's super important for me. And I'm working on that, Pasad. And hopefully I'll get better at that.
Yeah, and I guess you go to battle in things nga you feel passionately about that you love to do, right?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
you don't mind getting the battle scars. You don't mind failing, falling flat on your
On your
face,
feet,
right?
yeah.
Kung kanang butanga, ganahan ka, di ba?
Yeah, that's so true.
And
if it's your passion,
yeah.
okay, you'll never actually
Yeah.
feel like you fell flat on your face. But guys, if you're checking out here on Tops Media Center, na kuyuan ko ba? There's like something in my background.
What is that? What
I
is
don't
that?
know. It's just like a random face.
Oh my God! What the hell is that?
The kuyawan ko was like, oh my god. Kuya Magic's
Some
doing his
kind of
pranks again. So again,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, in the other room.
Kuya Magic is actually here, and
Yeah.
we were right smack in the middle of a very intense conversation. I didn't want him to bother us, but he was here. I actually saw his butt crack when he was trying to
Fix the
fix the
aircon?
aircon, man. Which I didn't want to talk about. So
That's so funny. You didn't say anything. Rapon. Wala rapon.
of course, there he is.
He did it on purpose. You're just
Good-
jealous
good-
now. You're jealous of Jiggy.
Yeah, I've never been jealous of a butt crack.
Until now.
Sorry,
until
man.
now. Yeah. But Kuya Magic will be having a show later on, right? We'll have the Magic Hour
For sure.
at 12.
Yeah.
Woo.
Maayong bungkag ni what is this? Jeffrey from Jasiana Battery Trading. Can you please play the song Ferris Wheel by Mampur and
Me.
Me? For
Okay,
sure,
we
for
got
sure,
you.
for sure.
So,
Yeah.
guys, by the way, we're also doing our listener override, where in
Yeah.
every 30 minutes, the song that you guys requested will be played here on the station, especially if it gets the most votes. So far, napa ba nag-request, Jiggy, through our text line?
Yeah, naidagan diri. And then
Daghan, perfect.
we will play them a little later
Yeah,
on.
and but for the listener override, it doesn't necessarily have to be a song in Bisaya. Any song, bisag unsa na siya nga genre, it could be in English. A couple days ago, sometimes we played some Bruno Mars, some Lady Gaga, or we played some Chaperone. So again, that will be the listener override. So suggest a song, and then every 30 minutes we'll play your track for you guys. So yeah.
You know
But
what?
that's via the text line,
Yeah,
diba,
yeah,
Jiggy?
yeah.
So you got to request through 0999-887-6070.
You know what? Also, what happened over the weekend? I totally forgot about this.
Yeah?
There was a match. There was a match between
Si
Jake Paul
Yeah.
and
And,
Iron Mike Tyson, right? Now, get this.
Did you watch it?
Iron Mike Tyson is 58 years old, right?
Yeah.
And Jake Paul is like in his 20s, right? In
Yeah.
his 20s, right? How
27.
old? 27, right?
Ah.
So of course, natural, napildi gyud si Lolo Tyson.
Fight sa down
Yeah.
low.
Pero-
It was a good fight.
Pero
I heard, ha?
wala gyud siya na knock out or na knock down. Wa gyud siya. So he was able
Lahi ra
to
gyud.
to
He's still the best.
withstand the punches of a younger person. But I really felt like the ultimate winner of the match
Was who?
was Netflix.
Grabe, no?
Yeah.
Grabe.
There were like 60 million households who watched that
that fight.
monstrosity. Because I really felt like it was like, what the hell is this, man? Like, it was like, oh no, like,
Really?
pamugasay ra gyud kaayo kan I feel I really lose respect when
Pamugasay?
people do that whole stunt thing, because I feel like Jake Paul is really a social media guy,
he was
right?
a YouTuber for the longest
he's,
time.
He's really in it for the attention and for the money too, right? Usab lang niya iyang business model instead of doing content nga kaning whatever, you know.
So sa fights na
sa
siya.
magboxing na siya. Well, to be honest with you, he's actually a
good fighter.
A good fighter, right?
Yeah.
But you know, na may ruta na god. You can go to boxing.
Yeah.
Or you can
Or
go to
you
mixed martial arts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a way to do that properly.
Yeah.
Kana iya kuan gyud na siya kana mga stunt lang.
So you
iba.
really feel like it wasn't actually he so in that sense, when you say it like that, you don't feel like it was like a serious
No,
athletic
no,
pursuit.
No way.
Oh, really?
No way. So ultimately, the winner is Netflix.
Mo naging ano, Joel Lim thinks it was a disappointing fight actually
Congratulations,
though.
yeah. Kay lo, murag
For
kuan.
Netflix they were really
Of
able
60
to,
million households, can you imagine? Do the math, girl.
Grabe.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
Ooh.
and
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I know didn't win, but you know.
and sometimes
what do you expect?
like in the same way kanang wrestling bitaw nga WWE, familiar ba kanang wrestling?
Yeah, it's staged though.
Yeah, so it's staged, of course, and similarly, I think in a way many of these things are staged, right? Even that was, I think, staged in a way to just build up hype the match ba, leading up to the actual event. So, but there are some people know that things are fake, know that things are staged, right? But they consume it anyway. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I think it's entertaining. Was that good?
Yeah.
Bisag it's fake, okay naman. It's
In the
still
same way that you watch
entertaining.
movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
right?
Like, for example, I do, like, sa Twilight series, Twilight films, kaklaro ana nga, nakawig na sila, some
No,
of them.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
obviously fake.
Yeah.
Some of them, like, klaro kaya they were in contacts to look like vampires, but I enjoy it. There's something about it that's entertaining for me. Like,
yeah.
I don't mind. So,
Yeah.
maybe that's also the way that people, think about in watching certain fights in certain battles, kanang, okay na lang, even if it's fake, kay, it's still entertaining for them, yeah. But grabe, Netflix is the winner here.
Absolutely. Atong takna karon it is now 9:56. 4 minutos na lang before mag alas 10 sa kabuntagon. You're listening to 105.1 TMC and I request for this next song. This one is called Ferris Wheel from Mampur and Me.
Ferris wheel,
Mampur and Me on 105.1 TMC.
the best of us.
I feel like you're Kuan this morning. You're Luya, right?
Am I?
Yeah. Right. Am I right?
Yeah, I think I just feel like my body is, yeah. My mind is out there. It's just like my body is like. My body's like slow, you know what I mean? Isa. Grabe, wow, clear. Oh my goodness, it's kind of super clear today.
Dead cow is in the building. Morning, bro.
You know what that meme is, don't you?
No, what's that?
It's like, you are my sunshine.
Who's that?
That's a trending meme.
Why would you use that?
So when the middle, you know, like when something's about to happen, like if a building's about to blow up or like, you know, like someone's about to get slapped, just before that happens, boop, your face pops up. You are my sunshine. It's kind of like the spider thing.
Who's that? Is that an actual person or?
Yeah, it's a dude.
We lined up for 2 hours and it was literally 2 minutes rapud ang ride.
Okay.
And it's just like, kunuhay, it's supposed to look like you're flying above the city,
Yeah.
but literally the cart that you're sitting on is just like 2 feet from the ground and they just put lights in the ground. And then I remember my dad was like, what the heck? We lined up for 2 hours for this. Diba? Okay, 2-minute ride naman
Yeah,
siya.
yeah.
But that's part of the experience. That's the thing about going to amusement park, guys. You gotta choose a date. Nga dili kay busy. Do not go there. So we went there on a holiday or
Yeah.
Christmas season, but I forgot, or
But
summer.
well, for me, it doesn't matter because if you wait 2 minutes or 2 hours, it doesn't matter because if you love the experience, you love the experience. In fact,
And,
sometimes the waiting, there's psychology behind this. The waiting builds up your anticipation,
Kana,
and you actually
makes you
even
like it
probably
more.
like it even more. In fact, katong mga Star Wars ride, among gihuwat, we waited for like 30 minutes to an hour, right? But lingaw man kay kinamay mga maglakaw-lakaw ang mga Star Wars characters in the area.
okay.
So part of the fun was just waiting. You know, so lingaw ra pero mo lagi like like I've murag to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like you know like you knew this was like you know like there was a screen and they played a video and
Yeah.
you know they were trying to make you feel like you're in the movie, right?
Yeah. No,
and mag-uyog-uyog imong gisakyan, kay mura ka nasa spaceship, nga you were inside the Millennium Falcon, and all of that stuff. And
you weren't hyped?
I didn't. I was hyped. I was more hyped of the idea. But when I finally was there, I was kind of deeply disappointed.
Oh no!
So I don't know. Part of it, of course, is also conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're, this happens to me most of the time, like 99% of the time, when I'm so hyped about something, I am in for a disappointment. Like, grabe kay ka-hype ba?
I think you over-expect siguro. Basta grabe lang sa kay expectation.
Yes,
that's
of course,
why,
because that's why it's called hype.
Yeah.
You know, because you know your expectations are through the roof, right? Tagsar jud kayong butang nga hype kayo nga dili ko ma-disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. Very few things.
Okay.
So I'd rather not be hyped and then I'd get blown away.
Don't expect na lang. Okay.
No,
Kind of reminds me of like CMJ from Spider-Man. She says, expect disappointed and you'll never be disappointed. So I think that's the same mindset for that. I know you're not into horror films.
Yeah, I don't like
How
horror
about mga horror rides? Like, you know, kind of mga horror rides?
Yeah.
I hate those. I never go for
I don't
those.
remember ever being in a horror ride.
Yeah, I don't go to those. I'm afraid of those.
Yeah.
I don't even like horror films. All the more horror rides.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the rides I'll go for in an amusement park, guys, kaya mga merry-go-round.
Yeah.
I'm there for the food. Ganahan ginong kumu, you know.
But you know, like, I guess because I know we have our very own Anjo World here, diba?
Kana Anjo World ni Talisay.
In Talisay, right? And mga rides dito sad ka na mga Ferris wheel, di ba? Nagisgo tag Ferris wheel mga kaigalaan ka namgoy kanta si Mampuran mi. O
Called
nabo
Ferris wheel.
Masig nahibong mo ano gistoran
What are
nila
you talking about rides?
So makakita kag magsagit-sagit ang mga tao, di ba? So I
really get
I guess I guess you have to be ready, like most things in life, right? You have to be ready to be entertained as a child, right?
Yeah.
And
or
maybe
like manage your expectations, but
no, I think ready good, you're really primed for it ba. And so ang akong gibuhat while I was in those rides, right? Was I was just looking at my nephews and my nieces, right? They were having so much fun. I was trying to inhabit their eyes. I was trying to inhabit their brains and how much fun they had. Because if I was that old, because I think Liam is like 10 and the older guy is like 14, right? Or maybe older. So
it's
Louis
very
was
like
yeah.
it's very like kanang we're fascinating for them.
yeah,
So you try to appreciate it na lang through. So that's why I think a lot of parents would like to go to. Syempre, it's a more meaningful experience when you go there with your kids and you go there with your family members. Kung ikaw ra, and you're like a grown adult and you don't appreciate these things, yeah, it's hard to have that.
But that's the thing. I do appreciate Star Wars. I really do love Star Wars.
But when you were there,
yeah.
I think it's because you're realistic. So you know, okay, this is just a screen. Kani we're sitting on, ginihok-lihok lang tayo.
Yeah, but that's the same thing when you watch a movie, right? Everything is fake, right? Everything's all made up, right?
So you know that it's real, but you didn't appreciate it. Siguro.
So I guess you need to be ready. Maybe I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? Maybe I wasn't primed for it, right? Maybe I wasn't ready to be blown away. Maybe if I go there another time, maybe I will, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because you know, like, because my trip there was like kind of only like 30 days or something, right? I had to cramp all of these activities in a short span of time. So maybe if I was there and I was ready and then I didn't have a full schedule, maybe I could have been,
you could have appreciated it more. Diba?
Ana gyud importante kayo gyud nga to be ready. Sa tanang butang sa kinabuhi, I think priming is everything. I think you need to be ready for it. That's why preparation is everything. Yun. That's why warm up is everything.
Preparation
right?
in itself is already the kanang murag. My dad said this. This is the quote that I really like that he used to say always growing up. If you fail to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Yeah,
so simple.
That's absolutely correct, right?
So I like that.
Yeah, and I think to enjoy something, to receive something, to understand something,
to be fully open to that,
you have to be ready for it, right? You know what I mean?
Because all the good things could come at you in life, but if you're not ready for anything, then it'll pass you by.
Yeah,
diba?
Yeah.
So same thing also with devastations. You have to be ready for that. Because
you mean like calamities and all that stuff? Is that what you mean?
Anything negative that happens in your life, when you don't, it's not that you have to be kanang pessimist nga mo expect yun ka nga everything will go badly. Pero if you are not equipped, I think in emotionally or what.
Okay.
Kay ma-devastated yun ka when things happen, which is also not a bad thing if you are devastated, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared for anything and everything. So yeah, I feel like
But see, that's also not a way to live.
I like how we came up with that realization from Ferris wheels, no?
Yeah, it's also not a way to live. Nga. You always expect the worst also, right? And
Oh yeah,
like, you-
that's a
you-
very kanang negative sad kay
Yeah.
na siya nga mindset.
Yeah, but
Wala pa ganin nahitabo, murag mag-expect na lang gid ka nga, it's not gonna be as nice or this
Yeah.
and that. You're gonna be bursting everyone in your own bubble every time. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Balance lang yun.
so what's a healthy mix now? Like unsa may maayo nga navigation tool nga you won't be such a pessimist and such a negative person, and you are able to move forward and satisfy yourself and be fulfilled, and also make people around you happy, also like make a difference in people's lives and so on. What's the because because I think this is a navigation problem, right? The way you navigate into the world and how you conduct yourself, and saan mo pag-operate sa kalibutan nga epektibo nga ang imuhang kinabuhi useful, not just to yourself but also to others, right? So it's a navigation thing. So if you're really really pessimistic, then you'll be paralyzed. Di na lang ka magawa sa balay kung manang storya, di ba? Di ba? But even then, there's still a possibility that, a meteor may drop and then just kill you, right? You'll never know, right? If it's your time, the cliche, kung imong panahon, imo na yung panahon, di ba?
That's true.
So yeah, that's very
If
interesting.
it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works, man. But, one thing for sure, eventually we will all...
But that's a good mindset, no? Kanang rag, what do you call that kind of mindset? Kanang bitang, what would, like, if you knew that you would die tomorrow, you would want to do everything today. Or you do everything today
as if you would die tomorrow. What is that called?
Seize the day.
Seize the day. That's called squeezing the most out of your life, guys. That's called TMCing, or top of the morningism, right? The mindset or the idea of squeezing the most out of your life, that comes from us.
Atong takna karon, it is now 10:15, and this next song is brought to you by our good friends from Cebu Home and Builders Center.
Woohoo!
They're having their year-end mega sale. This one
on TMC
Langa from Jerica Teodorico.
It really is a catchy song.
Karon, it is now 19 minutos nilabay sa alas 10. What you're saying?
It has a really catchy sound, no? The beginning, but it's
love
cute.
You Langga. Funny kaysa, love you pa, langga pa.
Langga pa, gid.
Love you langga.
It's a very cute song.
Yeah, cutesy.
Yeah. So that was from Cebu Home Builders, diba?
Yeah, brought to you by, yeah.
Brought to you
They're
by
having a
Cebu.
sale now. If you're trying to renovate your home and all of that stuff, there's always something to change, right?
Oh yeah, and,
always.
And now that it's the holiday season, it's the best time to do so, especially kayo
nagbutang na mo og mga Christmas decors.
Oh yeah.
How early do you usually put your decors?
As early as we can if we're not so busy, pero we did ours start of November.
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah. Start of November pa mi nagbutang. So that's kind of late na for me, ha.
I was in the mall yesterday, and then nakalabay mi og ganing mga plants bitaw.
Okay.
Tanong mo niya. Na may isa gitawag like poinsettia, kanang red bitaw nga plant
the red
bitaw nga.
Christmas plants.
Yeah, so akong inahan na nalipay kay daghan kay poinsettia. Pero ang problema ng poinsettia, I don't know if you've had this experience. Did you ever buy those? No.
Just the fake ones for the Christmas tree.
Okay. But the real plants good. The real plants good is ang problema ko noon ako is these are real plants, right? And human ko sa Pasko ko na mamatay ra sad.
Lagi, grabe,
sa
no?
muka.
They're only for Christmas
So
season.
I'm wondering if it's fake or not.
I think it's just a leaf.
What?
It's not really. Is it like a flower or?
No, yeah, it is a leaf that looks like a flower.
Looks like a flower.
Yeah, red.
Okay.
O,
It's
mga
not
malaya
an
ra siya.
actual flower.
Malaya siya in the sense nga mamatay ra ang tanom ba.
Sayang, no?
So mura
Or matay gid ba or mo change ang color back
mo
again?
na nga kanang tanom mo usahay para Pasko ra gina siya ni. Mas Pasko mamatay ra
And
gyapon.
that's why when you think of Christmas decorations, kana imong githink poison tiya?
Poinsettia or something like that.
Poinsettia,
Murag mo na siyang kuan. You know, there was a time in my life when I was in grade school. I used to have like a green thumb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I would like
Wow.
I would like every morning when I wake up, I would till the soil of the plants. You know, I would cut the kanang mga nangalaya ang mga dahon. You know, and I would be able to identify the name of this specific plant. You know,
Ooh.
this was like I had like this green thumb phase, and again,
Green thumb era.
yeah, and again that person died. You know,
Oy, grabe sad.
Yeah.
No, but maybe you still have a green thumb until now. You just need to keep planting stuff.
Yeah, but I don't have.
Ako, I've always had a black thumb, Jiggy. Even
So
ever since I was a kid.
hugo em koko permi.
Hugo.
Kinanglan ka
The-
hingoko unsa man?
Grabe, the-
What does a black thumb mean?
So opposite of green thumb, whatever I plant dies, guys.
Oh my
Even
God,
mungus,
really?
guys,
Oh,
probably
mungus
it will grow
mamatay.
for like a day. And the next day, mamatay. I never win. Like whenever, even in grade school, we had like mungus growing competition.
Mungus
And-
growing
yeah, and
competition?
I would even like water mine all the time. I would like think. I would like talk to it, talk to my plant. Like okay, I
Talk
hope-
to your plants?
Yeah, like okay, be nice and strong, grow nice and
Nabuang.
strong. Okay, wala yun. Nothing worked. I don't know what I was doing wrong. And even until now, when I plant stuff, it doesn't really work. Like pag pandemic,
Okay.
we tried to plant our own herbs, like kanang arugula and chives and stuff
Okay,
like
okay.
that. No, they didn't survive. They
Oh
all
my God,
died.
really?
Yeah, sadly. Ay nako. So I don't know, guys. Give me some tips. People say you gotta use you have to use a good fertilizer for that. Kana mga plantito, plantita pag pandemic. Grabe kay na. Were you a plantito?
No, I
No,
didn't
okay.
get. I was a podcastito.
Podcastito.
Yeah. So what happened to me was because there was nothing to do and I had like extra time.
That's
I did
smart.
I did some podcasts and all that
Okay.
stuff, right? But I know my mom was up like a
Plantita.
plantita. In fact,
So that was your thing for pandemic podcastito.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that. I like that.
podcastito. So
I was a dog mom pag pandemic.
Oh,
also.
so what did you do?
I was just the whole pandemic. I think I was really able to take care of my dog Paris the most.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
She was my main focus aside from just doing online classes. Like she was my outlet and my kalingawan ba.
Mhm.
So she was my plant, if I would say, or my podcast in that sense.
Mm.
Yeah, but I was never a plantita also kay I tried lagi niya, wala natubo. So black thumb, guys, black thumb.
Samuka.
Yeah.
It is now 10:23. Don't forget you can override our playlist by simply
Oh,
texting
yeah.
0999-8876-070 if there's something that you'd like us to say. Maybe it's something to talk about.
Yes.
Because we're just talking about stuff here.
Everything and anything.
Yeah,
Chika
you can
chikara.
you can join us on our YouTube channel, Tops Media Center.
Yeah.
And also topsmediacenter.com, our website. And also our messenger, our Facebook rather, it's Tops Media Center.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, for the songs that you want to request, it does not have to be in Bisaya. It can be from any genre. It can be from any language, anything at all. So that's what we're all about sa atong listener override. So text us right now kay in a couple minutes, 10:30, we'll be playing your
Now,
request.
I was actually one of the things that I was doing last Sunday was I was actually here to interview Deweza and Elamino, the guys.
Si Boom.
Si Boom.
I know. How was it? How was it? I wasn't able to stream.
Very interesting and very.
How old are they?
They're practically college students, you know.
Ay, okay, very young.
So
pa.
they're in their early 20s, and one of the things that we talked about was, and they were here also with their manager si Gion of Cebu Collective Reverb, muna siya management group ba.
Yeah.
Nagstorya mi how do you make a global hit song?
Mm.
And we were talking about that, and he's good siya nga, it just has to sound good, whether they understand the lyrics or not,
So
right?
kanang si Boom, for example, sometimes I just know it as boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
So one of it, they don't have to understand the lyrics of a song, as long as if it's a dance song, it'll make you dance, right? If it's
yeah.
a love song, it'll
should
make you fall in
resonate.
love, right? If
Yeah.
it's a crushing, tragic
Heartbreak
song, then you feel it.
Yeah.
So I was telling him, so ang example lang niya kaning kantahan nga kaning kanta ang lyrics ni bugal-bugal. Pero mura siya og
this?
tragic love song. This one is Yao Ming from Juan
My
Paasa
favorite. I love this.
about a cat on 105.1 TMC.
The best of us. Love song king dating. Can you play next? Iti?
Ah, sige.
I love Iti. Okay, very ang intro ba marag pang ano kay ba pang maalaala mo kaya kay ba?
Watching cartoons and open that even deku katong igamen may patolero kung bugawon upatuon kanang bihan remain kaysa ni kuya kaurasi basig ituyo mo ayun ka na sangin akarata lengin nani ma tawaran po si Menen nang lukaw na pun bisang lutan at tungsotan ugawan kadagang maringani napay kuteng pagkayatane undangan mo'y iskanyo kahit mo sa pungko mo I can take nothing kamay kong kukunin pusik makarita imang silbi makarita ningin nani makarita ningin nani
Go! Let's go! Welcome to the internet! Go!
One hundred 5.1 TSC.
Right?
One of the greatest love
Even
songs.
if
turns
you
out.
didn't understand what the hell he was talking about, he
Oh,
was talking
yeah.
about a cat sa ilahang atop nga samok-samok na samok ay tanan o niya
Even
mura
if you
siya
don't get
nairita
it,
siya, di ba?
yeah.
You still think like it's a like a love song, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. The melody in itself,
So
super.
and
It's the vibe.
I think that's what he means, right?
Makamata. I really like Juan Pasa. They have crazy songs like that.
Yeah. And here's another one that you want me to play. Do you
Yes,
want me to play it
please.
again, one
Yeah.
after the other?
Yes,
So this
please.
is another song. This one is called 80, right? 80 ang title, pero it actually means cow dung, right? I'm sorry, chicken dung, right?
Yes.
Iti. Let's listen to this and see for yourselves kung sa inyong paminaw ba nga mura siya love song, purting tragic, pero lain din hisgutan.
Yes. So this is 80.
Nabihan ka ni mong Jollibee. Jollibee. Pinahanapon ba? Jollibee. No? Pinaar ba? Jollibee. Ano na ang Japanese, di ba?
Yeah.
Ribihan. 105.1 TMC. So,
It's a...
ato mga di kasabot na ng kanta.
Malingaw, gyapon sila maminaw, kaya murag tragic kay nga love song, right? Pero nasa yung mga kanta, Justin, nga walay lyrics, di ba?
Okay.
But you can still feel the emotion.
Walay lyrics. What do you mean?
Like instrumental ba?
Oh, yeah.
You can still feel the emotion.
If you would listen to that instrumental alone,
Yeah.
murag
Oh.
sakit kayo.
Yeah. So I'm here's what I'm going to do as a part
Okay.
of the kind of experiment that we're having. Kaning kanta, wala ni siya lyrics, pero this is one of my favorite maoy songs.
Oh, okay.
This is from one of my favorite guitar players. This one is from Santana.
Okay.
Ang title sa kanta ay Samba Pati.
Okay, let's do it.
And let's all listen to it and
Get the vibes.
and get the vibes and provide the emotion, the words. On 105.1 TMC.
The best of us.
Something like that. My song would be like, mamatay akong cellphone. Something like that. Star phone.
It's just crazy how songs
I
connect,
know.
right? Sometimes,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
And sometimes also there are certain words, certain way of looking at the world, certain phrases nga murag you already felt but you never have the words for ba. And an artist murag sort of writes it down for you.
Yeah.
Encapsulates
yeah,
it, right?
That's true. Yeah. You don't realize like, oh, I can relate to this until they say it.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I feel. And I think that's the work of an artist.
Yeah.
And a work of an artist is to be able to express something that is unexpressed.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly.
Right?
For those who can't find the right words, can
Yeah.
they provide the words for that
yeah.
for their music?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Aggressive audio, liar, evil.
Kani.
On 105.1 TMC.
The best of us. Let's
Let's
go.
go! Lahiligi ni dili ni magpakakon ka. Is this the one? Why is it slow?
Money.
I thought that was the rock song, the other one. Magpakakon ka.
Chorus pa ni.
Ah, okay. It sounds as a slow song there. I thought it was only magpakakon ka. Ano.
Yung order ng paklay. Specific ka sa usa ka balyadong bihon.
Paklay. Magpakakon daw. Ni-order mayo. Pag-ask na sa kwarta, hilak-hilak daw. Murag artista.
Ni-order ko sa
Ni-order ka tong daghan, pansit, ano. Pag-ask sa, ano daw, pag-ask sa...
It's the season of giving, and we're giving you mega savings at Cebu Home Dealer Center. Mega year-end sale. Get ready for mega discounts on everything you need for your dream space. From stylish styles to
Good morning, Dinan.
to stunning lighting and
Hi,
kitchen
Dinan!
essentials.
Top of the morning!
Discounts you
Nakikita
will
siya
not
sa
miss.
mga page photo of ni Cesar Manalini. Oh,
Who's Cesar Manalini? Who's Cesar Manalini?
He's a Filipino art. I'm assuming it's a Filipino artist.
Discount on select tiles and toilet and bath items. And there's more. Get an additional 2% off on our Sunday special. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply updating, this is the best time to get more for less. Visit any of our Cebu Home and Builder Center branches in Manila, Mactan, and Macalso, Consolacion, Migladilla, Carcar, Toledo, and enjoy mega deals all season long. Don't miss out. Hurry in and shop the mega year-end sale from November 15 to December 15, 2024, and experience the joy of savings. Cebu Home and Builder Center, where your dream home comes to life. See you there. For detail, Fair Trade Permit number R7, CEB 884, series of 2024.
Where did you order?
Feeling stressed? You need a
Yes, Pinoy na siya. Oh,
Take a break
perfect.
and visit Crown
Faithful Love ni
Regency
Cesar
Hotel and Towers.
Manalini.
Located
Faithful
on
Love?
many of
Yeah.
boulevards in the city.
It's a Filipino.
We
It's
have
Filipino
over
should be
389
Is that on YouTube?
renovated rooms,
On YouTube or Spotify?
one
What
shop
is
Chinese
Spotify?
cuisine, Prana Medi Spa, Power Gym, and many more amenities for everyone to enjoy. For more information, visit our website at www.crownregency.com or call us at 0947-283-4026.
Tiki Juice.
Hey, that's it. Hey.
Who's in the chats? Who's on the tubes?
Nasi Dinan, 7:30. Joel lives here. Zach Loan is here. Brett Bird's here. Mark
Gucci Goo!
Coco, the usual morning gang. The usual crew. The usual people with us right now.
Cafe Globe Tower 1, Crown Regency Hotel and
Yes.
For inquiries, contact
Yeah.
0947-283-4026 or 032-418-8888.
Hello.
The usual suspects.
Usual suspects for this morning. Oh, wait, we have to do the other day, Chiki, the override.
aron ma-perform.
I already know where the
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
Next hour na po.
Mao nga the MX3
Okay.
capsule
Just remind
po,
them.
mao man sa tama nga
Yeah.
pagkaon ug exercise.
Guys,
Ang
don't
MX3
forget, we
certified
have the
na
listener
ang
override.
data ug laman at yes. Sa MX3, kampante ko nga mahatag nako ang needs sa akong pamilya. MX3, dili ko believe.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin paggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kung ikaw, 50 anyos na pataas, sama na ko, taas ang risgo nga mahanap na ang imong pananaw. Dakong hagis sa pang-adlaw-adlaw nga buluhaton, sama sa pagbasa, pagsulat, o pagmaliho. Ang opting, dunay lutin nga makahatag og tapang sa kahimsog sa mata, makibato kini sa epekto sa glaucoma, macular degeneration o katarata. Makita gyud ang kahimsog. Mapalit ang sa mga nakunang butika nationwide. Importanteng pahinom ang opting, dili tambal o dili dapat gamitong tambal sa bisan unsa nga sakit samtang nagkaedad at imana ang pananaw agi sa natural nga nutrisyon. Ilong mo opting, matagadlaw, mapalit sa mga nakunang butika nationwide.
Magsige o trabaho, magsige mo kabiliga, mauna ang moto na ako sa una. Pero katugayan, kapoy di-ari sa tuha sa tarang kanapoy, inom, kaulog labi, apil na ang oil o fatty foods, kinahanglan di hapon, pagtaya atong panglawas. Kailangan kung gusto makontrol na o ako ang Liberate supplement na labi maayo sa gusto mapagkaon o ehersisyo. Cheers sa lagang maayong panahon, salamat sa Liberate! Importante ba yung lumang Liberate, hindi ka palubihan na yung tutaman sa sinuusapanan sa sakit. Ang maayong ilimnon o maayong pagkaon na epekto ang kombinasyon. Lumadan ba ang Liberate para sa kaayuhan sa atay? Mapalit sa talang butika sa nasod.
Ang ato. Kontak na karon. It is now
10:49.
Yeah, 10:49.
11 minutos lang before mag-alas 11.
11 minutos.
11:11.
11.
Speaking of 11:11, did you take part in that 11:11 thing? Kating kind of online shopping thingy?
Oh
11:11?
no, like sa Shopee bitaw no.
Yeah.
I haven't been taking note of that, but I na magid na basta magka 12, 11, 9, 8, 10, 10, like the same number as the
Himo-himoan
month.
lang yun og rason sa nga
Para
mag-shopping
makasale.
sa.
You just wait every month. I just wait for that. Kaya ko man nagud ang discounts for shipping fee. Yes.
Alay
if
kung sa man,
you
like, what, give me an example of
For a deal.
something that you have purchased nga dako kayo og discount, for example.
Like, I forgot, there was something I bought before. I don't remember exactly what, pero sa online nga. It was on that kind of sale, mga 12 ba to.
Okay.
And the shipping fee was absolutely free.
Free.
Shipping fee was free.
Okay.
Zero. Yeah. So
dako din na siya nga cost
oh yeah.
ang
That's,
shipping.
supposedly, yeah. Sometimes you'll still spend 100 depending kung asa gikan. So, kana naka-free shipping pagid ko, and then sometimes the items become discounted. So, yeah. But we missed the 11:11, sayang. Today is now 11:18. Wala na. Too late na, guys.
Maayong bungkag ni mo diya, Dinan 7:30,
7:30.
Joel
Hi,
Lim,
Dinan.
Zarek Leona, and everybody on the chat. You can also
Word,
join
word.
us in our conversation. Just go to YouTube and go to Tops Media Center. You not only can see us, you can also hear us and vice versa. But if you listen to us on the radio, 105.1 TMC, pwede ra gihapon, pero dili ka mo kakita na mo, kay radio
Yeah.
naman na, di ba? Which is fine
It's
too.
fine too, but it's more lingaw sad to see us. No?
Yeah.
Especially when we have our games.
Yeah.
So for those who know, whenever we have our Gcash giveaways, most of our games are involving what can be seen on the screen,
Yeah.
what can be seen
Karon
on our live chat.
na morog scary kayo
Karon,
nga image sa luyo ni Justin. Kani ko na siya mora ko na
Meme daw
meme
na.
ko na ni siya nga kung naay something good is about to happen, this guy appears.
Yeah, and it's just like, welcome sunshine or something like that, right?
Something like that.
We wanted ako kanina, wala ko kabantay ba? It's
Yeah.
behind me.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to see what goes on and all the kind of crazy pranks Kuya Magic pulls on us, and you want to see it exactly, not just hear us react to it, then head on to YouTube.
Let's
Check
see it
out
right now.
Tops Media Center on YouTube.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just some guy. I don't know what it is. Pero even if okay, there. If I put my hand, I cover it up. So I have to cover it up like this.
Yeah.
Perfect. So by the way, guys, we'll be playing your song requests every 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
So in the middle of the hour. So again, this can be any genre, any language. It's up to you guys. We'll be playing that for you guys. Yung si Bert, kanina sa akong likod, murag si LeBron. Yeah, I think it's LeBron James.
Well, it's not.
Is it not? You're the basketball fan on Jiggy. That's him, right? Is it him? I know daw, it's not daw. Mura na
May,
siguro.
pareha og beard ni LeBron
Pareha og
James, but I don't know
face,
about
but
the whole.
Ay, nako. Yeah, I'm not into basketball, so I wouldn't know. Pero murag si LeBron.
Interesting karon ng basketball because I mean, like I'm a huge basketball fan, right? Speaking of LeBron James, kaning Los Angeles Lakers, they fired their coach, si Ham, and they replaced the position with JJ Redick. JJ Redick is like a basketball player. He was a point guard. He just recently retired. Unya, mora na siya co-host ni LeBron James sa ilang podcast.
Okay.
They were doing like a podcast about basketball. Yung co-host niya, and I think that podcast show went on for like
a while.
A while, like maybe like a few episodes, maybe 1 year or 2 years worth. And they were like really over analyzing basketball. This guy, si JJ Redick, although he's I would say like above average basketball point guard, but he wasn't like Hall of Fame material.
But he was good.
He was
Okay
good.
na.
Okay, na siya. Which is funny because most of the great coaches are not very good basketball players.
Not very good basketball players.
Eh,
Okay.
ang problema man good anang coaching is if you're a great basketball player, which great basketball players have tried. Magic Johnson, has tried to coach. Larry Bird has tried to coach the Indiana Pacers. And I think even Michael Jordan tried to coach the Washington Wizards. They're not very good because ang problema aning great players man good, they expect the same from their players. So grabe ka ilang expectations.
They don't know how to leverage the strengths of each.
They don't know how to size up the player
Kana.
because ilang expectations pariha ka ngilngig ang ilang mga players. So I think it's a good thing. Si JJ Redick was not a Hall of Fame material, but he was an above average player. Anyway,
Not all coaches play basketball. Mo gid nang saying.
Yeah. In fact, mo lagi kaning they're probably not very good because their expectations are through the roof. Because maayo man kay sila tanan. They expect everybody to be like them. So mo na siyang
They don't know
problema.
how to understand the players individually and see how
So Larry Bird never won a championship as a coach. Magic Johnson just didn't even finish the season because he said, I've had enough. I'm going to give up siya. Michael Jordan, I think, never even
wala nakatiwas also.
wala sa kantiwas or maybe one season. Point is, nga si JJ Redick is as a new coach. He's never had any experience in coaching. All he did was, he was a sports commentator. I think he was part of ESPN or something, one of those talk shows about sports. And he did a podcast with LeBron James. And so wala siya experience whatsoever. And pag coach niya sa Lakers, yung record maayo kayo. 9 wins and 4 losses, good enough to be fourth in the standings in early season of the NBA. But so it's very surprising as somebody who's so new, who's never coached ever.
Why do you think that is? For a newbie, or like for some people, why do you think sometimes they're automatically good at something when they join in?
Well, first of all, you have to understand.
Pero
nga,
first time, ha?
Nga,
Ano ba?
mura, namang yung novelty, di ba? Novelty. So, especially when it's coaching, maybe bag-o pa ka, o niya paghuman fresh pa paminaw imong mga ideas, o niya maybe nindot pa ka paminaw kay bag-o pa ka, wala pa ni gawas ang imuhang, let's say, imuhang mga a different side, maybe, or ikatulusad, posible po ng imuhang strategy, imuhang way of coaching,
It's just
wala pa nasakpan sa ubang team. Kay bago pa man, wala pa na-gets nila baka usually magud kanang coaching magud naman na siya yung morog element of surprise because you have to be unpredictable and then so your opponents cannot react. So naitabo siguro ni JJ Redick all those three things. Nga number 1 bago pa siya so
novelty.
presko pa kayo, novelty pa siya. Number 2 maybe wala pa nakasakop sa iyang coaching style so dili pa ma-predict unsay buhaton niya. And so on and so forth. So it's very interesting how the Lakers now have a winning record. They even have their best start in a long time since 2012. So we had to go back like 12 years ago to have
just to have
a comparison. This is their best start
Karon na lang.
in a long time. So it's very interesting, right?
Yeah. I wish to be that kind of person without jigging. When I get into something, I'll be good at it. I would say my dad and my sister are like that. If they like it,
Yeah.
Whatever they get
Yeah.
into,
Yeah.
they will
Yeah.
excel in it. So for
Yeah,
example,
of course,
ako
yeah.
sister,
That's pretty
hilig-
normal, right?
hilig na siya. Not really, because
If you
some
like it, then most likely you'll be good at it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're
Yeah.
passionate about, but there's
Yeah.
not. Some people, man, good is like they try a lot. There are a lot of people who try a lot of different hobbies, but they don't excel in the hobby. So
Yeah,
they like
yeah.
it, but di kaya sila mo excel because they only tried it for a while. Pero I've noticed about my sister. She's a type nga kung mo get into siya sa hobby, if she's passionate about it, mo excel gid siya.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she would actually really be good, super good at it.
Yeah.
Not just know how to do it. Nga na ba?
Uh-huh.
Ako, I wouldn't say I'm like that. Like I have very very few hobbies, the ones that I stick to
Mm-hmm.
lang. And I'm not the type to explore the different hobbies.
But you know,
as
like
much as she does.
excelling is a goal, but that's not the only goal, right? Like you know, like
Oh yeah, having fun should be part
just
of that.
having to be able to do the thing that you like to do is
Is already enough.
yeah, isn't that
Oh yeah,
good enough too?
It is. It is.
So
Good
so,
point.
so so I mean, like excelling is not always the goal,
Mm.
especially if it's just something that it's maybe like a skill is not really practical.
Kana,
You know what I mean?
that's
Like
true.
there's no actual use for it, so it's fine to be able to just do things, right?
Yeah, for your own enjoyment
Yeah,
also.
yeah. Unsa nagsulti nila nga excellence is the enemy of good. You know what I mean? Like you so wanna
You're so focused sometimes.
To be
you know
excellent,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe that is also why some people are afraid to try new hobbies because
Yeah.
they're under the misconception that you have to excel man good in your hobby. So kailangan dili pwede lang, it's just for fun. But that's not the mindset we should have all the time. Like we should do things for the pure enjoyment of it. So I'm gonna try to practice that lang. Get into a hobby.
Si
for fun.
Zarek Leona naghisgot siya nga even the great Diego Maradona of football can't win a World Cup trophy as a coach when he coached Argentina. So he was a great player but never a good coach. Lisod kaya na siya nga
He can't win a trophy as a coach, but he won it as a player. So
And-
okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
dili siya. So even that example kani si Diego Maradona.
lain pud nga sport,
Oh,
football.
he is more equipped as a player than a coach.
Lisod gyud lagi you cannot inhabit I think part of coaching is really to be empathetic, right? To inhabit the mind of your players, right? And kung dili ka realistic sa imo pag inhabit mo expect ka great things then and you mura na kay disadvantage as a coach, right?
Yeah, not good. Would you consider yourself like in the race of life?
In the race of life, I like that. In the race of life.
Are you a coach? Would you consider yourself more as a coach, but not fit enough to play, or a player but not fit enough to coach?
Well, depending on what sport, right?
Like the sport of life,
The
like
sport
in
of life.
general. Because I feel like a coach in itself, they are kind of more background, pero grabe kay sila so indispensable ilang presence to the point that you really need them for the game plan. It's the same thing as like when they ask you if you were in a production, a play, would you be the background people, or would you be like the starring? Would you actually star in the play? Like what kind of person are you ba? If we were to assign those to like your personality traits. So are you a coach that's like background ka, you don't play in the game, pero you know a lot about the game. Yeah. Discarte is your thing. When doing things, it's more on a
Well, I think in the game of life, since you're talking
Kana,
about
kana,
life,
oo.
kind of kinabuhi imong good is different. I mean, like I know, I totally get the comparison. Like basketball, sport is like a microcosm of life, right?
Kana, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Oo.
And all of that stuff, right? But in life, man, good, like you really have to do it yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or you can motivate the hell out of a person. You can tell them everything that you know about a certain topic. You can give them all the possible equipment, advantages, but at the end of the
But-
day, they really have to do it themselves.
That's so
At the
true.
end of the day, right? So yeah, I would consider myself probably like a good coach.
Okay, coach.
A coach of
perfect.
life, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I I'm not excellent at it, but I'm probably like average,
Mm.
or maybe like a little bit above average at it, siguro,
Oh.
because I have this advantage of being able to communicate, right?
Mm.
But at the end of the day, you still have to do it yourself, right?
Yeah, that's true, that's
and
true.
sometimes, magod, if you advise people, sometimes
They don't take it anyway.
a trick in making people take your advice is to make it look like they arrived upon it themselves. You know what I mean? Like
Say it's, let them know that they've exhausted everything and now it's come to that, and that somehow that they came up with that idea.
Yeah, make it
not you.
Kay lahi mo ng tao, like
That's funny.
people generally don't want to be sold to. Kanang mga tao dili na sila ganahan nga mopalit sila og butang tungod kay maayo kay ka ni sales stock. In their heads, what they want to do is, I'm buying this thing because I decided, because I want this thing, right? So tagsara kay ng tao nga ganahan palit ko ni ba kay convincing kay ka. No, usually ang tao mo palit nimo tungod kay nakadesisyon sila mismo. At least that's what they want to feel, right? So that's the same way as giving advice to people. Most of the time, people want to accept or do something because they arrived upon it themselves.
Yeah, they made that decision on their
so kung
own.
mag-sales talk og tao, ayaw yun kaning ipa-feel nila nga ni palit sila og butang tungod kay imo silang gi-sales talk, because that rarely happens. It really, you should make them feel that it is a decision that they made. They arrived at for themselves, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
It's the same with school teachers. Sometimes they're good at their own professions, like being a lawyer, a doctor, an architect. But sa teaching, that's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be so good at your profession, pero it's hard for you to transfer that knowledge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what we used to
correct,
call it before sa teaching. Transfer of knowledge is a skill good. Because you can be the most bright ka teacher, imong last name, tanan alphabet, because you took up all the masters and all this and that. Pero it's hard for you to transfer that to your students. That's a skill too.
Na saying to the effect something like if you can't do it, you teach it.
Kana po.
Yeah. What is that cliche? Nga basta na cliche nga ingunan nga kadaghanan sa mga, let's say for example, business teachers, right? They're not necessarily successful businessmen.
Yeah.
But they're successful at the teaching part of it.
I know what you mean,
Kanang mga motivational speakers, for example, most of them are not really successful.
You teach na lang what that's so true.
At what they do business-wise, but they're very good at advising people. Unsa man na, like, do you feel nga you should take advice from people who are successful in their fields?
Or people who are good at
Ikaw, I'm asking you, do you tend to take advice more from people who already are successful at that thing that they're advising about, or do you take advice from people who are good at just advising? Kung naman inag yung mga tao, na maayo yung guys sila mo advice,
Yes,
pero
the
not
thing is-
necessarily successful at whatever it is that they're advising at. In fact, ang ilang success story is their advising.
Yeah, I think it
The
really
motivational
depends.
speaking, di ba?
Yeah. I would really think the credibility of someone also depends on what they've achieved. So I would rather take advice from someone I know has like experience and background on what I need advice on.
Okay.
But I don't, sometimes it'll also help like to get advice from someone else that doesn't necessarily have the exact advice that I'm looking for. Kaya it's a fresh perspective. So okay na lang if wash ay background. Okay raman. Either way, I'm very open to people's advice. So
But nila, for example, kanang mga motivational speaker, for example,
Kana.
daghan man kay nasa nang inana, di ba?
kana.
Like, makahatag sila ng examples of how this person who had nothing, blah, 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 and succeeded. So, maayo kay sila mo put together og advice nga makasabot ka, nga ma-motivate ka. So, sometimes, di na lang ka mangutan, ikaw, nakabuhat ka na. You know what I mean? Because,
That's funny.
Because na-motivate
Diba
naman ko nimo, di ba?
naka- ka ba nga, okay, you're so going to give you advice, but did you nakaana
Yeah.
ka? Did you
Yeah,
just-
yeah,
no,
right?
no, you don't even question sometimes when that person's, the credibility also comes from their charisma and how good they are at motivating you,
Yeah,
convincing
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So sometimes, di na lang ka mangutana. The only time you question manggijigi is if you're doubtful of the credibility of the person. If you feel like this person is just spewing crap or this person's just kanang pachar-char siya.
Possibly manggod nga ang imuhang success is in that's really your career. Your career is in motivational speaking, right? So maayo nagyud kay ka na mo put together words, and then maayo kay ka mo get information from credible sources. So you put it together and you make a TED talk out of it, or you do a motivational session with this group of people, and effective kay ka ng butanga. So possibly gid siguro nga ikaw maayo kay ka mo advice pero ikaw dili kayo ka successful anang butanga nga imuhang gi-advisean. That's
true.
possible. In fact, I mean, you cannot expect all of the great businessmen to also be teachers, right? I mean, like, they don't have time for that, right? Right?
Yeah,
right?
that's for sure. Yeah, that's true.
Although some people who are very altruistic, they really take it upon themselves because they want to give back to society. Ganahan sila nga motudlo silang nahibawan sa negosyo, for example, di ba? O whatever thing it
Help out
is.
to whatever the way that they
Yeah,
can.
pero ka naman kung mag-teacher sad ka, mura man lisod sa ng trabaho ba, di ba?
It is a very
Lisod sa ng
difficult job,
trabaho. I'm
yeah.
sure you've been a teacher before. Niya, medyo dili sad kayo na siya worth it for some people ba?
Yeah, I understand.
Nganong nga maestar man ka nga kaning you know, like business mo ka negosyante
Actually,
ng
there are
negosyante.
a lot of teachers in my previous school even who are very successful in their fields, travel all over the world for business and that, pero would still want to give back because
Yeah.
alma mater nila mutudlo og business,
Yeah.
for example, sa school.
Yeah.
A lot of them are successful lawyers
Yeah,
na
yeah.
mutudlo gyapon
Yeah.
business ethics
Correct,
and law
yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
A lot of them are successful,
Yeah.
mga medical professionals, na mga PT, na mga engineer, but they still chose to teach gihapon, no?
So
it's a
so
different calling po ba?
do you feel nga that's more of an exception than the rule, or do you think that is the rule? Nga most of these successful people go out and teach, or are most teachers not very good at whatever it is that
really depends,
they're teaching? Kay pareha ang example lang naabot anang storya ken we were talking about coaching, right? Coaching unya kaning mga maayo kay moduwa dili sa kay mo maayo mo coach. So kaning mga maayo kayo sa ilang gibuhat sa professional life na dili sad maayo mo tudlo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So ikaw sa imong experience in that short span of time when you were a teacher, did you see a lot of these so-called experts,
Yeah, I did.
these successful
Definitely,
people
yes.
in their fields nga nagmaestra? So kadaghanan sa imong mga kauban sa trabaho nga mga maestra are actually successful in whatever it is that they do. Most of them.
Yes. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, kanang a lot of the teachers that are hired in the school also are successful in the fields outside of school.
Okay.
And so that helps a lot in the transfer of knowledge or what they have to impart to the students. But again, it doesn't follow nga only those who are successful in that field can teach a specific subject.
Yeah. In fact,
for example, entrepreneurship, that's a subject. No, that's a subject about how you're going to run a business. So then the question would be who's better kanang equipped to teach a subject? Someone who took up a college course and has all the masteral and everything of that of entrepreneurship, or someone nga probably no background sa academic life of entrepreneurship pero negosyante siya. So then it would be unfair to also say that one is better than the other, right? So the
but
way that
we're talking about imparting
knowledge
and information
so the transfer
now.
of knowledge in itself is a skill nga I feel like anyone can have.
No. I think teaching is a separate skill set.
Kana.
In the same way that coaching is a separate skill set, right?
Kana.
So again, an example na niya is maayo kay nga basketball players, si Michael Jordan, si Magic Irving Johnson, si Larry Bird, Hall of Fame, pero they were
Not so good at teaching.
terrible coaches. I would even say terrible coaches, right?
Terrible.
So I think I don't know if it directly applies, but I think dako sang puruhan nga maayo ka nga negosyante, maayo ka nga doktor, pero dili ka maayo mo tudlo. Right? And I think kani silang mga manudluay nga mga experts, mga maayo silang different fields, dili ni sila magdugay og tudlo sad. Murag pika-pika ra nila, dili ni sila maingon nga magtudlo sila for an entire like year or maybe for a long
Probably
time.
like a passion project.
Mora na
for
ni
a
sila
while.
ganing pika-pika lang na ilaha para di sila matayan siguro, or maybe they owe it to themselves and to society to give back and all of that stuff. But I don't think they would want to do this one
To stick
as a
with that.
career, right?
Kaya they have something outside
Yeah,
that they're holding on to.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
So I'm just curious ba because kanasang kung maayo kag usa ka butang, again, dako kay kag blind spot ka, we expect ka ang mga tao parihan nimo, di ba? Nya kana pong usahay sa maayo mga negosyante nga wala nakaskwela og business, for example, ang ilang pagkaton is really the school of hard knocks, right? Kanang ilang yung
It's a
experience
hard
ba?
knock life.
So murag ang ilang puhon gyud, ang ilang yung kaisog. Di ba?
ang pagkakumbate. You know, I've been using that. People be asking me, how have you been?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh, you know, kumbate lang, as Jiggy would say.
Yeah, so I don't know. So I think bottom line is this: we all have something to learn from each other,
Kana,
right?
kana. I like
So kanang mga maayo nga maestra nga dili maayo sa ilang gibuhat or dili maayo mabuhat sa ilang gitudlo. Okay, teaching is a separate skill, manggod.
From actually doing
There's
it.
a kind of
Yes,
performance
exactly.
also, di ba? Nga kung motudlo ka nga, kinanglan ma-motivate imong mga estudyante. Kinanglan nga mubuhat sila sa imong gipangayo, di ba?
Exactly.
So lahi man sa nang mubuhat ka anang butangang imong gitudlo. That's another thing, right? So I think you have to treat them as separate things also, I think.
Yeah, I really like that concept that transfer of knowledge is different from actually like doing it. So yeah, some people are better at doing it and some people are better than transferring. It's a blessing if you can do both. Kana would be the
That's like
that
a
would be the
rare occasion nga both are true nga maayo ka mobuhat sa imong gitudlo and vice versa. Maayo ka motudlo sa imong gibuhat. Yeah?
Yeah.
Atong
I
takna karon, it is now 13 minutos nilabay sa alas 11. Murag si Justin overtime nila kay murag alas 11 ra.
17 minutos nang nilabay sa alas 11.
You're still listening to Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice and right across me is Kuya Magic making panghinampiling.
What's funny?
Why are you making panghinampiling? Like that pa? Hinampiling.
Funny, huh?
Hinampiling.
Maghinampiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anong hinampiling man kadi Kuya Magic? You what? Your lubot? Your okay, anyway.
Posture.
Your posture.
His posture, that's why.
Yeah.
Ay, nako.
Postures, everything's
Yeah, I know, kanina.
Yeah, like sometimes labi na ka ng mga matuga ba niya imong position sa imong pagkatug di mao,
that's for sure.
di ba?
Yeah, you're gonna get stiff neck in the morning.
The problem is how do you like correct it nga natug mo ka, di ba?
There's a science for that. Like, dapat you should get the right kind of pillow, kind of
Yeah.
memory foam and
Yeah.
whatnot. To be honest, I never really sleep straight, so I'll wake up every like hour. Man.
But how do you sleep? Like mag straight ka?
Side go per
Side-
me. Sideways.
Dili
Yeah.
dili ra ba karon na maayos ha?
I know. I
Yeah.
heard about that.
Yeah.
Sideways isn't that good. But some people also say like some people sleep on their stomachs, which is worse though.
Yeah.
Some people sleep. Oh, I think the safest way is to just sleep like
Yeah, on your back, right?
Unless-
Kamo guys, what kind of sleepers are you?
What kind of sleeper are you?
Ako like aligri kay sanan kay every time I go to bed, right? Si Cooper mag-una gyud na. So mag-una na siya sa pillow. We share the same pillow, right? Mag-una siya usahay sa tunga siya maghigda sa pillow. So wa na ko'y lugar mo higda.
Wala na kay space, Gid.
So akong buhaton
That's Cooper's bed, not your bed. by the way.
So mahitabo is ang akong ulo akong slowly move his body. So na ako'y gamay nga mahigdaan nga
Excuse me sa Cooper ha.
sa
Move
pillow.
sa- Ay, nako.
And I'm able to live with that na nga. I'm able to sleep with Cooper na. But how about you? Like, what is the optimal condition for you to be able to have a good night?
Good night rest?
Sleep, yeah.
Okay, I cannot sleep without a blanket. I can sleep without a pillow, that's fine. I can sleep
Really?
on the floor, okay ra, but I need a blanket, even if it's not cold. Like, I just need a blanket. Feels
Really?
weird. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
weird without a blanket.
Lasig alimot?
But bisag alimod, even if it's really hot, I would still need a blanket. It's like, I think I need just the feeling of it.
Like a literal security blanket?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels weird without a blanket. Like, I
Yeah.
feel so, I can't sleep. I need a blanket. Good. I'll just
Interesting.
take a nap. It won't really be like a deep sleep if I don't have a blanket.
And also it's important good nga you don't take your caffeine like a few hours
Kaya na
before
po. That too.
the time of yours or if you're sleeping, right? Because I'm trying as best as I can to have no more caffeine after 2 p.m. or even
Oh,
earlier.
Wow, okay.
Kaya kung mag coffee
Good
ko,
practice.
maglisod ko katog yun. Unya pag human dili ko makatugog sayo, so may tabuan na
All
is
the more.
ako ang katug pod, kuwang na pod, di ba?
Kanapod.
And I think nabantayan ako nga maglabad jud akong o. So I was thinking it was the sunlight. I thought it was my eyeglasses, but as it turns out, I think
caffeine.
I probably lack sleep good.
It's
I think
So
it's that juice though.
so what happened is karon nga medyo sakto-sakto ko gatog, di na maglabad akong ulo.
That's
so
true.
I think it's really about sleep, and I think
Oh yeah.
sleep is really everything.
Yeah, that's
So pwede mo na kay the problem with society now man good is we live in a society nga
Exhaust ang tanan time.
nga kay wa siya katug kay grabe kay sa mo trabaho so 8 ka oras Okay, he works like for such a long time. That's what society rewards. But I think part of what's wrong with that metric is dili mo na siya maybe daghan siya gibuhat pero dili effective iyang gibuhat. Dili maayo iyang gibuhat. Dili nindot iyang nabuhat. You know what I mean? Because especially in the realm of art, in the realm of things that require a kind of artistic flair, di ba? Importante man nga imuhang utok.
Oh, yeah.
Sakto kasi imong
Yeah,
pangutok.
yeah. Exactly.
Your mind is well rested because
Yeah,
you're
that's
doing something that is artful, that is beautiful, that
Yeah, that's true.
that looks inspired.
Yeah.
Importante ka na looks inspired, and you cannot find inspiration if you lack sleep.
That's true.
Right? Right?
Yeah, I think you can relate to that.
Yeah.
Kuya Magic.
Yeah. How
As
about
an
you?
artist.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
that, Kuya Magic? And na may mga butang, there are things in life that require inspiration to have something that also that inspires inspiration too, right? When you hear something, especially like for example, it's a song. When you hear something, you're inspired by it. Makaingon ka nga that person who made that was also Councilor Jimmy Lumapas led the ceremonial implementing of the single pole ordinance. Na ginatawag nilang single pole ordinance on Owano Avenue, Mandaue City. Today, this ordinance aims to clear dangling wires, kanang mga nagbitay-bitay, mga spaghetti wire, and enhance public safety by allowing only the dominant utility to install poles in areas where existing poles can be attached to those poles. So, may tatong masulbad ning kaning spaghetti wire problem na to kay grabe kay ka luod tanawon makauwaw ta usahay nga sa naman taon niyo moram nig na si Spider-Man ka puyo diri nga daghang kay lawa. I hope this whole single wire ordinance will help in clearing the wires of Cebu. Atong takna karon alas 11:37. Naminaw mo sa pinakasugbuanon nga radio station sa Tibok Dakbayan, 105.1 TMC, the most Cebu music.
You are listening to the best of Cebu music from the old to the new. 105.1 TMC, the best of us.
They tell us ahead of time, right?
Well, I can't make one because I have meetings here. So I should just do it in the line, but I appreciate it. Took the slide. Yeah. Yeah. Take a juice. On the air. Kuya Magic.
105.1 TMC, the most Cebu music. And Kuya Magic is ready right beside. What is that, Kuya Magic?
Is that an insect?
It is.
What kind of insect is that? Sama ng insekta. Lamok. Si Kuya Magic, mosunod ni nako karong alas 12, right? Na kay Magic Hour. Unsa man imong buhaton karong alas 12, Kuya Magic. Kay kanang alas 12, Kuya Magic, paniud to na, that's lunchtime, right?
12 to 1, yeah.
So most people are eating and then trying to munch their food and digesting their food. Is there like a kind of music that helps you in digestion? Like a fibrous kind of song, no?
Yeah.
Unsa man, what kind of song is a fibrous song?
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Bit of Kenny Rogers. It was
Like that's classic rock.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, Huey Lewis in the News.
Kenny Rogers is like a ballad, dear.
Got to know when to hold, know when to fold 'em. The gambler, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Gets you in the mood.
Yeah.
Fires you up.
So that's digestion.
That is it for me.
But that sounds like something that would cost me indigestion, Kuya Magic. Indigestion, yes.
And we got a song by Indie coming up then, have we?
We have a song called Indie. So stay tuned for music that'll make you get some indigestion with Kuya Magic coming up a little later on at 12 for the Magic Hour. About 3 minutes away. That's it for me. I'm out of here. You guys take care. I'll catch you again tomorrow, 7 to 8. Make it 8. 7 to 12 in the afternoon. Top of the morning on 105.1 TMC.
The best of us.
Lamok.